Hello everyone, welcome to Hidden Affairs. Here we share real-life stories of love, betrayal, and the secrets people try to keep. Please do subscribe, and share your thoughts about the story in the comment section. Now let's enjoy the story. The gilded envelope on the candlelit table shimmered with promise. But when I tore it open, it wasn't an anniversary vow, it was a declaration that gutted my soul. Mara, my wife, smirked, her family lurking behind her, eager to watch me fall apart. I had stepped into the upscale restaurant, the air heavy with the scent of truffle and old money. Mara's eyes sparkled, but not for me. She was stunning, her silk dress catching the light, her fingers dancing over her phone. I thought she had planned something special for our 5th anniversary. Foolish hope. My gut twisted with unease, but I ignored it as I sat across from her. The table was bare, except for a single envelope, sealed with gold wax. Her smile didn't touch her eyes, the first warning. The clink of glasses around us faded into silence as she slid the envelope toward me. My heart raced. A love note, maybe a surprise trip? I broke the seal. The world tilted. Inside was a cold, typed letter, Mara's formal intent to divorce me. Her voice sliced through my shock. I'm done, Ryan. I deserve someone who matches my ambition. Damien gets me. Damien. The slick film producer who always hovered too close at her father's parties. Before I could even react, the doors to the private dining room swung open. Her family stormed in like vultures. Victor, her media-mobile father, led the pack, his tailored suit oozing power. Celeste, her older sister, sneered at me. Their wealthy friends followed, wine glasses in hand. Victor's laugh boomed. We always knew you drag her down, kid. Celeste raised her glass. Here's to Mara's new chapter, free from mediocrity. The room spun. Their mockery cut like knives. They wanted me to break, to beg, to give them a show. My hands trembled, but something inside me hardened. I wouldn't give them the satisfaction. I locked eyes with Mara. Her smirk faltered for just a second. Got a pen? I asked. Victor, grinning smugly, handed me a fountain pen that probably cost more than my rent. I smoothed the letter on the table, feeling the crispness of the paper, and signed my name in calm, steady strokes. Silence swallowed the room. Their anticipation curdled into disbelief. I stood, looked Mara dead in the eye, and said, "Thanks for the freedom. Best gift yet." Then I walked out, their stunned faces seared into my memory. My heart thundered, but my stride was firm. In the car, I gripped the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. Mara's words echoed in my mind. Damien gets me. I wanted to scream, to smash something. But a colder, sharper resolve took hold. 5 years of swallowing their contempt, of hustling to fit into their world. And this was my reward. No more. I pulled into a gas station, the neon glare harsh against the dark night. My phone buzzed, Mara's text flooding in. Why aren't you fighting for us? You're just proving my point, running like a coward. Each word stoked the fire inside me. I didn't respond. Instead, I called Hannah, my old college friend, now a ruthless divorce lawyer. She answered on the first ring. Ryan, what's wrong? I told her everything, my voice calm despite the storm raging inside me. She didn't hesitate. Meet me tomorrow. We're going to bury them. Back at our apartment, I moved like a ghost. I transferred half of our joint account into a new one, leaving Mara's side untouched. I packed my laptop, a few clothes, and a box of old sketches, ones I had hidden from Mara's mockery. She always laughed at my drawings, called them a waste of time. Now they were all I had left. By midnight, I had rented a storage unit, locking away the essentials, out of her reach, out of her world. In the silence, memories clawed their way back. 5 years of being the invisible husband had its advantages. I had heard secrets they thought I was too insignificant to matter. Victor's shady deals that fueled his media empire. Celeste's affair with Victor's biggest rival. The kind of truths that could destroy their precious facade. I crashed in a cheap motel, the hum of a broken vending machine, my only company. Another text from Mara lit up my screen. This isn't how it was supposed to go. I almost laughed. No, Mara, it wasn't. But it was only the beginning. I lay awake, plotting my next move. Hannah would handle the legal bloodbath. But I had my own weapons, whispered conversations, drunken confessions, and careless moments, all stored in perfect detail. They thought I was nothing. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. Before we dive deeper into this storm of betrayal and revenge, let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you're hooked already, hit that subscribe button because trust me, this is just getting started. The rage didn't fade. It sharpened like a blade, honed to precision. I thought back to Victor's gala last year, him bragging about fake film projects used for money laundering. Or Celeste, giggling with her lover in the study while I served drinks like a ghost. Not just memories anymore. Ammunition. I flipped open my laptop, digging through old backups from Mara's email, one she thought I'd never find. One thread between her and Damien caught my eye, dated months before tonight. Meet me at the hotel. Don't tell Ryan. My jaw clenched, but I saved it. Every scrap of evidence was another brick in the fortress I was building around my new life. By dawn, I was running on nothing but black coffee and vengeance. Hannah texted, "Got your email. This is gold. Meet me at 9 o'clock. I showered, the scalding water doing nothing to rinse away the ache. They had humiliated me, staged my downfall like a theater performance, but I wasn't their puppet anymore. I caught my reflection in the cracked motel mirror, my eyes colder, harder. They hadn't broken me. They'd woken me up. 3 months later, the sting of Mara's betrayal still lingered like a bruise, but I was clawing my way back. And then I found it. The ticking bomb buried deep in Mara's old shared laptop, a discovery that would change everything. The new apartment was tiny, a one-bedroom with a view of a scrappy park. But it was mine. No designer furniture. No judgment breathing down my neck. Most nights, I sat on the balcony, sketching. Each stroke of charcoal a way to bleed out the pain. The drawings Mara once mocked had become my sanctuary. I poured my energy into a side project, an app designed to help people manage their time, something Mara had once called a pipe dream. Now, it was my lifeline. Proof I could still build something from the ashes she left behind. The text from Mara stopped long ago. I didn't miss them. I had Hannah. I had Kyle, an old friend who never bought into Mara's charm. They were my anchors. One evening, while transferring files from the old laptop, I noticed a hidden folder, Project Notes. My gut twisted. That wasn't work. I clicked, and there it was. A video timestamped 6 months ago. Mara and Damien, tangled in hotel sheets, laughing, whispering promises. Her voice soft, intimate. Once I'm free of Ryan, we'll have all. My hand didn't shake from pain. It shook with fury. I dug deeper, finding emails between them. Cold, calculated. They planned my divorce like a business deal. Damien had written, "Make sure Ryan signs fast. We need Victor's backing for the new film." I sent everything to Hannah. Her reply came almost instantly. "This is a gold mine. We're untouchable now." The discovery lit a fire under me. I threw myself into building my app, coding late into the night, the glow of the screen my only companion. Kyle dragged me out to his weekly art nights, where we drank cheap beer and sketched. He saw the shift in me, the hardness in my eyes. "You're not just surviving, man. You're building something." His words stuck. I wasn't the broken man Mara left behind anymore. Hannah met me for coffee, her sharp grin promising victory. "With this evidence, Mara gets nothing. No alimony, no assets. You hold the cards now." I nodded, but the thrill of revenge felt hollow. I wanted more than just to ruin them. I wanted my life back. Then came the invitation, a sleek email from Mara, asking me to attend her father's company gala. She claimed she wanted closure. I didn't buy it. Her family never made a move without a hidden agenda. I almost deleted it, but Hannah's voice echoed in my mind, use their arrogance against them. The USB drive was already loaded, with Victor's incriminating emails about laundering money through fake film projects. If Mara wanted a show, I'd give her one. I RSVP'd, my pulse racing with a mix of dread and anticipation. The gala was a glittering spectacle held in a downtown ballroom, dripping with chandeliers and plastered with Victor's media empire logos. I wore my only suit, feeling like a trespasser among the elite. Mara spotted me instantly, her red gown striking, her face pale and anxious. She approached, forcing a smile. "I'm glad you came, Ryan. We need to move forward," she said, her eyes darting nervously around the crowd. I nodded, brushing the USB in my pocket. "Let's see how this plays out." Halfway through the night, Victor took the stage, toasting his company's latest blockbuster. Mara joined him, locking eyes with me as she raised her glass. "To new beginnings and leaving behind those who hold us back," she said, her voice loud and clear. The crowd murmured. Eyes turned toward me. She was baiting me, expecting me to slink away in shame. My blood boiled, but I stayed calm. I slipped to the tech booth, where a bored AV guy barely looked up. "Play this next," I said, handing him the USB. He shrugged and slotted it in. The giant screen behind Victor flickered. Silence fell. An email popped up, Victor's name in bold, detailing a scheme to funnel millions through fake film budgets. Gasps echoed across the room. Victor's face drained of color. His mic slipped from his hand. Mara froze, her glass trembling. I stepped into the light, my voice steady. Thought you should all know who you're toasting. The room erupted into whispers and chaos. Phone snapped pictures. Victor stormed off stage. Mara chased after him, her heels clicking frantically. Celeste, lurking at the bar, shot me a venomous glare, but I didn't care. I hijacked their show and made it mine. Outside, the cool night air hit my skin like a baptism. My phone buzzed, Kyle texting, "Dude, you just blew up the internet." Hannah called, laughing. That was a masterstroke. We're filing tomorrow. With the evidence, and now a public scandal, Mara and her family had no leverage left. I should have felt triumphant. Instead, a heavy ache settled in my chest. Destroying them didn't erase the nights I spent doubting myself, wondering why I was never enough. The next morning, Mara's name lit up my phone. I made a mistake, Ryan. Damon's gone. Please, let's talk. I deleted the message without a second thought. She wasn't sorry, just desperate. Her Instagram, once a shrine to her perfect life, went silent. Meanwhile, I posted one of my latest sketches, a stark cityscape. It got a few likes. Kyle pushed me to keep sharing, and to my surprise, a local gallery reached out. I sold my first piece for $50, a small win that felt like a fortune. Hannah invited me to her firm's art show, where I met collectors who saw something real in my rough, jagged lines. For the first time, I saw a future that was mine, one not chained to Mara's shadow. Victor's empire crumbled, headlines screaming about the investigations. Damon vanished, leaving Mara to face the fallout alone. Her texts grew more frantic, but I let Hannah deal with them. I had bigger things to focus on. My app slowly gained traction, hitting 100 downloads, each one a step further from the man I used to be. At night, I sat on my balcony, sketching the park below, the charcoal smudging my fingers. Revenge had lit the first spark, but this creating, living, was the fire. Mara thought she had broken me. She had no idea she had set me free. 6 months after her betrayal, I wasn't just surviving, I was finally alive. I stood in my backyard, the scent of fresh earth anchoring me. My new life was finally taking root. But when she showed up, broken and desperate, I faced my final test, truly letting go. Her family's empire was in ruins, and I was done being their pawn. The house was simple, a modest 2-bedroom with a patchy lawn, but it was mine. Mornings were spent tending a small garden, tomatoes and basil thriving under my care. Scout, the scruffy one-eyed rescue cat I adopted, lounged on the porch, a quiet, comforting presence. My app had grown to 1,000 users, enough to hire a part-time coder. My sketches were selling too, each sale a validation Mara had never given me. I started seeing Sarah, a graphic designer with sharp wit and a laugh that lightened something heavy in my chest. She saw my art, not my scars. For the first time in a long time, I could breathe. Nights became my favorite, spent sketching by moonlight on the porch. I shared my drawings online, and strangers' kind words filled a space Mara's approval never could. Kyle threw me a housewarming party, the living room buzzing with laughter and pizza. Hannah toasted me with a mischievous grin. "You're not just surviving, Ryan. You're thriving." Her words rooted deep. I was beginning to believe them. The gala stunt had buried Victor's company in lawsuits. Mara's social media, once loud and polished, fell silent. I didn't check anymore. I didn't need to. Then one late night, my doorbell camera pinged. Expecting a lost delivery driver, I checked my phone and froze. Mara, hollow-eyed, disheveled, standing by a battered van across the street. She looked nothing like the woman I'd married, hair matted, eyes red. I watched for an hour, hoping she'd leave, but the van stayed put. My phone buzzed with her messages. "Ryan, I'm sorry. I have nowhere else to go. Please, just 5 minutes. I'm living in this van. I lost everything." I paced the kitchen, Scout weaving between my legs. Part of me wanted to slam the blinds shut, but another part, the one Sarah called too soft, couldn't leave her out there. I pulled on a hoodie and stepped outside. Mara stumbled from the van, words pouring out between sobs. Victor had cut her off, Damon abandoned her, her friends ghosted her, her temp job fired her. She had nowhere left to turn. Her eyes searched mine, pleading. I let her in, not out of love, but because the night was cold. She stepped inside, her gaze sweeping over my walls, lined with my art, my plant, my life. "This is beautiful, Ryan," she whispered. "You did all this, without me." Her voice broke. She collapsed onto the couch, sobbing harder. I brewed coffee, sat across from her. Listened. Victor's empire was ashes. Celeste was hiding, dodging her own scandals. Mara had burned through every bridge. Then she said it. "Can we try again?" The words hung heavy between us, a ghost of the life I'd once craved. I sipped my coffee, bitter and grounding, and told her the truth. I thanked her for the divorce. It forced me to rebuild, forced me to find a life I truly loved. I forgave her, not for her, but for me. She could sleep on the couch for the night, but tomorrow she had to find her own way. Shock replaced hope on her face. I don't think she expected me to say no. I didn't expect it to feel so right. The next morning, I made toast. The air between us was thick with silence. When my phone rang, I almost ignored it. Victor's voice, thin, desperate, crackled through the line. He begged for help, claiming Mara said I was doing well. I almost laughed. The man who once called me worthless now needed my help. I told him I wasn't interested, but I knew someone who might be, Sarah. I gave him her number and hung up. Mara watched me silently. She understood then I wasn't just moving on. I was building something better. An hour later, she left, a battered backpack slung over her shoulder, climbing into an Uber bound for Celeste's place. At the gate, she paused. "I never deserved you," she whispered. I nodded, not for her, but for myself. Scout brushed against my leg as I watched her vanish into the dawn. I went back to my garden, pruning the basil. Simple, grounding work. I had come through the fire and found peace on the other side. Life had taught me that resilience isn't just surviving, it's choosing to grow. Forgiving Mara freed me. Living true to myself was the real victory. This journey, from betrayal to rebirth, had reshaped me, and for every scar, I was grateful. The story ends here, raw, real, and mine. If this ending stirred something in you, drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more stories that pull no punches. Thanks for riding along. I'll catch you in the next one. But just when I thought it was over, a cryptic note slipped under my door one night, jagged handwriting unmistakably Mara's. It wasn't signed, but I knew it was her. The words inside promised a truth that could have pinned everything. And I had to decide, chase it, or finally let it die. While I focused on my sketching, my art shows slowly drew modest crowds, each sale a quiet triumph. Sarah and I grew closer, her steady presence a calm contrast to the chaos Mara once dragged into my life. Weekends were spent hiking, her camera capturing the kind of moments I wanted to hold on to forever. Kyle and Hannah remained my anchors, the group chats full of memes, bad jokes, and plans for game nights. The scars Mara left behind faded, replaced by a life I had built from nothing. One stormy evening, I found a note, tucked damply beneath my welcome mat, the rain bleeding the ink but leaving it readable. "Meet me at the old pier. Midnight." I know what Victor hid. It changes everything. No signature. But I knew Mara's handwriting like I knew my own. My heart kicked into overdrive. The old pier, a rotting stretch of wood by the river where Mara and I used to go when things were good. I hadn't thought about it in years. Part of me wanted to tear the note up, burn it, erase the temptation. But curiosity gnawed at me, a splinter I couldn't shake. Victor's empire was dead and buried, or so I thought. What could Mara possibly reveal that mattered now? I debated for hours, Scout purring in my lap as thunder grumbled low outside. Sarah's voice echoed in my mind, something she had told me recently. Don't let the past steal your present. She was right. Still, I needed to know. Grabbing my jacket, I pocketed the note and drove through the rain to the pier. The river glimmered under the dying city lights, the storm easing into a mist. The pier groaned under my footsteps. At the far end, Mara waited, a hood pulled low over her face. She turned when she saw me, fear flashing in her eyes. She spoke quickly, voice low. Victor kept a secret offshore account, tied to the scandal. He hid it, even from me. It's in your name, Ryan. He used you to cover his tracks. I froze. She fished out a crumpled ledger, the pages inked with transactions I never authorized. I had been a ghost in their scheme, a human shield for their crimes. Mara pressed the ledger into my hands. Turn it in and Victor's finished. Or keep it. It's enough money to rebuild everything. Millions. Her voice trembled, desperate. Like this was her ticket back into my life. I looked at her, truly looked. Gone was the woman I once loved. All that remained was someone clinging to the ruins. Slowly, I handed the ledger back. I'm done playing your family's games, I said. This isn't my fight anymore. Shock twisted her features, but I didn't wait. I walked away. The pier's creaking faded behind me, the rain washing away the last traces of her hold. The next day, I anonymously emailed the ledger to Hannah through a burner account. She called, her voice lit with excitement. This could bury Victor for good. Are you sure you don't want credit? I was sure. I didn't need revenge to feel whole. A week later, the news broke. Victor arrested, his hidden empire exposed. Mara's battered van was spotted outside Celeste's apartment, but I didn't care. My life was here, in the garden, in Sarah's laugh, in the sketches filling my walls. I had learned that closure isn't about winning. It's about choosing yourself every single day, even when the past comes knocking. Letting go of Mara, of Victor's schemes, of the need to prove anything, that was my real victory. I stood in my backyard, scout batting lazily at a moth under the porch light, and knew I was enough. This journey's end hits hard, raw and real. Did it leave you feeling satisfied or reeling? Drop your thoughts below. If this story moved you, hit like and subscribe for more tales that don't pull punches. Thanks for sticking with me. See you in the next one. Thank you for listening till the end. If you enjoyed the story, please give a heart in comment section and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories.